Let's get right to our very special guest today is the social conscious, extremely talented singer-songwriter Quincy Cole. Quincy's career as a singer and a songwriter was interrupted in 2009 when Quincy chose to focus on healing her stage 4 cancer diagnosis. She took an unconventional road to battling her cancer. She made a conscious decision to face the disease head on, and she accepted responsibility for the disease, which I think is so interesting, choosing to love and to listen to the cancer in her body and thereby healing herself. I was brought right back home to my soul, she says, and the disease reversed itself without Western medicine. Quincy's on the show today to talk about something very special. And it makes me, as I was driving in today, as I was taking detours and trying to make it over the sidewalks and make a trail, blaze a trail, I was thinking about that. This is why I love what we do, that we get this medium, that we get this microphone and this audience to hear these important stories, to talk to people like Quincy who are, wake up every day trying to make a difference with not only the music and the art and what flows out of them and they create, but also looking around at mankind, at human beings, and seeing pain, suffering, but also the hope and the positive things that can be accomplished. And I love that we get a chance to talk to somebody like Quincy and hear her story and how she's making a difference, because I think there's so much going on right now that is difficult to understand and difficult to get through our daily lives with our own personal problems and the things that are happening. It's nice to have a voice like Quincy's to remind us that we all can do this together. So we're going to talk about We Can Do This Now. It's not just a song, but it's a full nonprofit, action-oriented call to action for environmental and racial justice. Being the positive and the powerful woman that she is, Quincy decided to take on what now is the world's disease, environmental and racial justice, by using her gift of songwriting and music to unite a world audience. She says, I have to believe that if we truly take responsibility and we choose to love and listen to our Black and brown brothers and sisters on our planet, we can heal and restore global wholeness and harmony. We Can Do This Now. The song started out as an anthem based on Greta Thunberg's speech, Our House is on Fire. What has it evolved to now, Quincy? Welcome to the show, Quincy Coleman.
Oh gosh, Jeremiah. I'm just going to press play on everything you just said every morning to just start my day with a good boost. Thank you so much for that. That was very, very thoughtful and kind. What was the question?
What I mean, We Can Do This Now started, you were inspired by the speech by Greta Thunberg, but what has it evolved into? It's taken on so much more, has become so much more powerful in its message and means different things. Tell us about that a little bit, about what it.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, the experience the last year and a half has been such a great example of like holding a vision for something and also getting out of the way. Mm-hmm. And so it's been this incredible ride, and not seamless by any means. Nothing is with its challenges, but pretty swift, and supported. It feels like it's been very supported. So I had seen this speech of Greta Thunberg's on my Facebook feed 2 Junes ago, and I was just floored, just staring at my computer going, who is this young girl? And I did something that I really very rarely do. I think I did it with the Great Prayer similarly, but I made a conscious choice to go grab my guitar, and I thought, I have got to write something inspired by what I just saw and heard. And as I was kind of tinkering, I thought, there is not a snowball's chance in hell I'm going to be able to express what she just said. And so I did what I did with the Great Prayer, and I basically wrote out her speech and plucked some of the poetic moments and put it to music. And while I instantly had a vision for like a We Are the World moment for the earth, it evolved into this nonprofit organization, which isn't totally out of the blue of a vision I've had, just to create a place of consciousness and unity. Justice has always been a passion of mine since I can remember, since I was a child. So it just became evident to create a .org when we realized we needed to get a domain to have a place for the videos to live. And it was environmentally focused because of Greta's message. And I always sort of related to her call to action for taking responsibility for the earth in the same exact way that I approached my own healing, with taking responsibility for my choices in healing my body. So
I think that's so interesting how you made that connection and how you've presented this, where at first that you had stage 4 cancer and you looked it head on, you know, rather than being defeated, or I'm sure you went through those times of depression and darkness and you know, re-examining everything. But then it just says so much about your spirit, and a testament to you that you were able to take that and face it head on and cure that cancer without Western medicine, from what I know. But that brings me, you know, and then taking, you know, Greta's speech, I was inspired by her as well, right? I mean, how could you not be moved by that speech and many that she's given? But you took that just shows what a great, you know, as an artist, how special it is to have someone like you in the world, where you take that message and you've turned it now and taken it to another level and in your own way and pass that on. It just shows how powerful we all are if we use whatever voice we have, right? Whatever medium we have, and just continue to inspire and pass on the message. So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but so then it turned into the social justice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have so much to say about so much of what you just said, Jeremiah. Before we get into the racial justice aspect of it, I will say that, you know, when I was first diagnosed, it was sort of a relief to hear the words, "You have cancer." And because I'm sort of the dumbass that needed that wake-up call to make myself important enough to take good care of myself, because I'd gone down a not so healthy path. And so what was interesting, all the while still kind of writing introspective, conscious music about, you know, there's always light at the center of darkness, and that yin and yang. And I remember saying to myself, well, Quincy, let's find out if you really are that person that sees the light in the dark. Where's the light here now? If you really are gonna practice what you preach and walk the walk of what your first record was about, what does that look like with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis? And by the way, I didn't really take in that it was stage 4 until about 9 years into the diagnosis. So it was a tough pill to swallow, but something it was really a spiritual experience, truly. But, you know, and I think it's special too, what happened with this Greta song. And I don't really, it's such another great example of like, just show up, listen to the quiet voice of guidance. We all have it. I don't care what you call it, but we all have that voice inside of us that's telling us sort of the inspired thing to do. I avoid words like right and wrong, but we have that voice that tells us the inspired thing to do. And if we can just get out of the way, we are all, you know, we all have that ability to kind of co-create. And so I feel really grateful that I had enough consciousness to receive her inspiration and have the patience and the space to allow that song to come through. And I just really feel that it's so little about me and more about a bigger voice that's coming through her, that's coming through me, that's coming through you, and that dance, that real energetic dance.
Well, and that's why artists and musicians, I think, are so important in this world for us, because you've seen what's happened, you know, with racial injustice and environmental, and you're able to take things, images, words, experiences that other people have, that we're all really having together, shared, but maybe alone, not realizing we're sharing this time together, and you're able to turn it into, you know, music and a visual image through the music. And there's nothing more powerful than music, I think, in this world that inspires people. So for you to take that and be able to give it to us in a different light is such a gift to all of us. You mentioned, Quincy, that in the conversation here that you were interested in justice really at a young age. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah,
What inspired, if you have a memory, or
Yep.
there's something that inspired you in particular?
Absolutely. And I also want to respond to what you just shared too. It's important for me to acknowledge that just in this moment, what you do is also an art. And I'm grateful for how you allow sort of energy to come through you and create this exchange of dialogue. And I truly mean that. Even the way you opened up, it was an art in and of
Thank
itself.
you, Quincy.
So,
And I'm sorry to, if I get uncomfortable, I deflect to make a joke. So Mike and I are artists, and Dr. D.
indeed
We
you are.
made it, guys.
Well, I don't know.
I've always been wanted.
I knew that already. I don't know what you.
Well, you're an artist for sure. Dr. D's an artist. I was just now I'm in the club.
Well, I wanted to just share something with Quincy real quick, and that I've been promoting on my program called, first of all, for 2020, the year of perfect vision, but I've expanded that to the 2020s, the decade of perfect vision. And that perfect vision has to do with going within, just as you spoke about, and
Amen.
spending that time listening to that still small voice, again, whatever you call it, following the promptings. It will never put you in harm's way. It might challenge you, and look for that peace, that calm, that sanctuary.
Yes.
That you can recenter yourself, get your energy back, and then go out into the world. And, and the thing about Greta, the criticism she's received, I sit here and I go, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that as a fellow human being, she doesn't have a right to speak out, no matter how old or young she is? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a real problem with that whole thing, but I couldn't agree with you more about listening to that voice.
Yeah. Thank you. And it will be challenging. If it's not, you're probably not listening.
Yeah.
It guaranteed the challenge. It's funny what you said about Greta, because I remember telling Mike like 4 months ago, I said, let's get ready. I'm really ready to not be liked. Do you know? Because when you really follow that, I hope I'm going to piss some people off. It's like, I've lived so much of my life. Please like me. Let me make this work. We don't need everybody to like us. There can be harmony without liking each other. There can be love. There can be respect. But I specifically remember saying to Michael, Mr. Gormley, I'm ready to not be liked. And that's been kind of liberating, to be honest with you.
Yeah. you
Go ahead.
tackled with both versions of the song, you've tackled, or you've kind of waded into where you could have criticism. Some people are very pro environment, pro, Black Lives Matter, and some, I mean, there's controversy on both sides, but I think you, we are all playing it a little bit safe right now because nobody wants to be criticized or unliked, and we got to stop that. I think we've got to, whether or not you agree or believe in a cause or a movement, you've got to see the human elements, the human shared experience there in some way, and hopefully it will sink in, and maybe your mind will be changed.
Yeah, and can we not like something and still be respectful?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, Jeremiah, you touched on something interesting. There are two versions of the song. We Can Do This Now, and one was created for a environmental justice video, and the other video is racial justice. But it's the same song. The same song covers the spectrum. It's very interesting. Was that? I mean, I know you have Chris Pierce comes in on one of the songs that he's on the racial justice, but do you? You're kind of surprised by that? So wait a minute, I don't need to change the song. I just need to change the visual over the song. Was it kind of a shock to you, or how'd that work?
To me?
Yeah.
And are we good?
2 minutes
It's 2
until
minutes.
we take a break.
Oh, okay.
And peace.
Yeah.
It's more like the English version he's giving you, but that's
Yeah.
Not that. Okay. I mean, do we have time for me to answer that right now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
Quincy, it's your show. We've got time for you.
Yeah. So the reason why Greta's speech also resonated with me so deeply is because I was almost 9 years into my diagnosis, and I'd been writing down notes for potentially a book called I Have a Dream Too. And then the tag was for spiritual justice and unity for all life. And what I had sort of identified early on in my diagnosis was that cancer is something that humans manifested to teach us how to love ourselves again. Not only to teach us how to love ourselves, but how to love each other and how to love the earth. And that it was all about that, taking responsibility for our choices. So I understand that there are outside circumstances too, environmental toxicities. I'm talking about taking responsibility for my part in creating this dis-ease, this imbalance in my body. And I'm very clear on what those choices were. And I think it's a no-brainer on the choices that we make as humanity, that the choices we've made to create this dis-ease called racism, and the choices we've made to create this dis-ease called global warming. It comes out of shitty choices. If we make healthy choices, we heal. And we make healthy choices by listening and by loving. That's my experience. That's my experience with the cancer within my own body. And that's what I really identified with her call as well.
So true. We
Do we have to step away?
Yeah, real quickly with Quincy Coleman. But when we take this break here, we're going to let you listen to a little bit of Quincy's music. We'll take you to break right now with Give It Away. Quincy Coleman. The organization is wecandothisnow.org. Go check it out, and you can find the song on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. YouTube, check out the video on YouTube. We'll be right back with more of Quincy Coleman. We Can Do This Now.
Stand by. All right, here we go. In 3.
Well, hold on one second. Do you want to bring us back with a question? I know we didn't have you answer the justice question when
I didn't answer the question. And
should I do that? Should I repeat that question and then Mike, you can take it after that?
Okay.
the next segment. Okay.
Now, Quincy, I think you need to check with your attorney before you answer that question. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, you're live.
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. That was "Baby Don't You Cry." It's the Pie song from the movie Waitress. That was such a great movie, such a good movie. I'm in the hospitality business, so I loved it. Of course, really funny. And we're talking with Quincy Coleman. "We Can Do This Now" is the song. WeCanDoThisNow.org. Go check it out. And we're going to be talking about the organization, the song, and the movement here that Quincy has started. But I did want to ask, I wanted to follow up on the question because it intrigued me about your early passion and how you took on justice, how you became interested in justice at an early age.
Yeah, and my apologies for not answering that question twice at all.
We're gonna pin you down.
Yeah, try it again. Try it one more time.
And you know, it's interesting. I think it's also because I'm so passionate about it. It's just like, I remember the first time I saw white people hosing down black people. I was probably under 9. I want to say like 7 or something, and it was visceral. I remember in 4th grade being at an all white Episcopalian elementary school in the Pacific Palisades, and we were asked to draw our favorite American in 4th grade. And I'll never forget, I drew Martin Luther King, and I still have that. It's in storage somewhere, but I've held on to it. I've just identified with that kind of passion for equality and justice. I think I felt my own experience of feeling sort of oppressed, feeling like an outsider. I've always, even when I was in elementary school, I remember distinctly telling some of the girls, like, you know, you don't have to ask her if you can sit next to her. And you know, rooting sort of the less popular classmates, rooting them on, and not in like a superior way, but in a like, I know you got this, right? Just this sense of equality, like lifting up those that are kind of looked down on and bringing down those that are, and just saying, guys, we're all the same, right? I remember falling in love with the Elephant Man, like just that it's about the heart. It's not about this. I could go on that, but I'm gonna get back to the video. So after George Floyd was murdered, I was awakened in the middle of the night, couple nights in, and I thought, oh my God, I got to make a video to We Can Do This Now for racial justice. And I thought, am I really pushing this? Let me go listen. I listened to this song in detail, and I was like, no, this works perfectly, if not better. And I always had a feeling that the WeCanDoThisNow.org would address justice, all justices, the unhoused, disability, which I like to call diff-ability for different ability, LGBTQ. And so I had always thought, let me get famous and then I'll have a platform and I can make a difference. And I think we've all been sort of sent to our rooms in quarantine to really look at what we can do. And that the universe has sort of presented to us the most important things, you know, the healthcare, the climate, the humanity and racism, so that we can all really think about it, and that we have this platform of social media for us all to have a voice and do something about it. And so the video was put together pretty quickly, and I just took a deep dive into Black history for that first month. And I've got another video that's formulating to the song We Are All in This Together. And I'm just so grateful and humbled that I get to contribute to this movement for racial justice in this way.
You mentioned
interesting point, just for a second. Jeremiah, Quincy made the racial justice video. She did it at home editing, so on and so forth. The environmental video was done by someone else, right, Quincy? And can you elaborate on that a little
by
bit?
a team of people. Rachel Pollack, Lon Davis, Art Castle, and they came up with this really great idea to have children draw the earth and get submissions from all over the world, which we did. We got hundreds of children's drawings of the earth. We got to, I approached my boys' elementary school, and we had this like 5-minute video presentation on climate change from a child's perspective, got the whole school to draw the earth. And they have a high-speed montage of all these drawings, which then it gave me the inspiration to continue with a program called Planting the Seeds, where we're going to do these 5-minute video presentations at elementary schools, either on climate change or Black history, and then introduce having the schools do on-campus gardens or on-campus monuments to Black leaders.
I really like that, the art by the children in the video.
Me
And
too.
I was thinking, I hope you don't mind if I put something out there, but I was thinking about your comment on your favorite American hero, being
Yeah.
Martin Luther King, and I could see children drawing, maybe you showing that drawing you did as a child and doing the same kind of a theme with the, for the racial justice. I could
Exactly,
see kids,
Jeremiah.
how they see themselves and how they see others. And because you really don't, when I was thinking back when I was in high school, one of my best friends was Mexican, and I really didn't know there was any difference at all until someone years later said something, like somebody had to tell me. Like when you're a kid, you don't think about that. I mean, you do see differences, but I just didn't, it never occurred to me, and
That's also a great example of what white privilege looks like, which, I'm learning is like, we had the luxury to not have to see the color,
mm-hmm.
where our Black and brown brothers and sisters, they're born knowing there's a difference.
It's a shame.
Because there is a difference systemically.
We've got to take a real quick break here. We are talking with Quincy Coleman, her new single, which we're going to play in its entirety at the end of the show here. So stay tuned for that, is We Can Do This Now. Go to wecandothisnow.org and see how you can join the conversation and join in and help out. We're taking you to break right now with Quincy Coleman's Bridge Over Troubled Water. We'll be right back.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry, Mike, I'm not letting you. I was going to
That's
let you
okay.
take that segment.
No, go ahead, take it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. You live?
Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. We can do this now, Dr. D. We can do it.
Yes, we can.
We can do this now. Quincy Coleman is our special guest today, singer, songwriter. Whoa, my chair just went down. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching me on the video, my mic and
You
everything.
just did.
we
Okay,
go.
there you go.
Drinking, folks. He's
All
drinking.
rise.
I can't.
All rise here.
Heavy equipment, it's dangerous around me.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to ask you are, and I hope I don't embarrass you on this, but you have a famous father, Dabney Coleman. And when you were young and you mentioned watching the videos of racial injustice and things that affected you at a really young age, I was wondering, was your family politically involved and active growing up? Was that part of it? Or was that something that was
Not
on your
really.
own?
No. I think it's past life. I mean, I spent a lot of time thinking I was Black in a past life. Then I thought I was a Vietnam vet in a past life. Then I thought I was Jewish. Then I thought I was like, okay, it's just justice. I just have a visceral response to, righting a wrong. And again, I'm not big on right and wrong, but this shit, and we've got to right this wrong. There's a little quote I put at the end of both videos, or at least one of them, that it's not a war to fight. It's a wrong to right. It shouldn't be a war. It shouldn't be a battle. Same with the cancer. I didn't fight the cancer. I actually did the opposite, took the gloves off. The fighting is what created the cancer in the first place. The fighting is what's creating this discord, this dis-ease. We got to right the wrong. We made some wrong decisions. We got to start righting that.
How do we do that?
reconciliation, awareness, responsibility, reparations. And I'm just learning myself. You know? But I think that that's a start. I think the acknowledgement, I certainly did that with myself. Forgiveness, self-forgiveness, acknowledging I made some really unhealthy choices. No wonder my body got pissed. You know what I mean? No wonder our Black and brown brothers and sisters are pissed off. No wonder the earth is pissed. It's inflamed with piss. It's pissed off. We need to love. We need to listen. We need to respect. We need to make the changes. And by the way, to use the analogy with my own experience of healing, it got worse before it got better. I didn't just like rub a crystal on my body, start meditating and praying and reading the Bible, and all of a sudden I'm like healed. Bumps started popping up all over my body in that first year, even though I had made different choices, healthy choices. So it's going to take a while, and you know, it's a process, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning what that looks like. Policy reform, changing what's going on. We got to change all the white men. There's too many white men leading everything. I love you guys. Too many. We need color. We need female. We need transgender. We need a universe, a voice that represents the planet, that represents the country. And it ain't just about a white dude. I'm stepping off the soapbox.
I'm
right
going to
now.
let Mike pick
Oh,
up.
that's
Mike.
cool. That's
There's your
cool.
cue, Mike. You got 1 minute.
1 minute. Well, let's see. You're talking about you were 7 years old when you started waking up to this situation. You have twin boys who just turned 7.
I do indeed.
Oh, very
And
cool.
they
Happy birthday, twins.
Yeah, just
Thank you.
the other day. Do you think they're feeling it? They're seeing it, feeling it? Do you think they're waking up to it?
So beautiful, man. So beautiful that you associated that too. That's gonna stay in my heart. You're so right. They're that same age. And I've always, I'm aware of the magic in their hearts and in their minds and in their spirits. But that was really beautiful that you pointed that out. Yes, they are feeling it. That's been something to navigate too, and to go back to sort of this phrase, white privilege. I used to say, I don't see color either. And I thought that was very evolved of me, and then I found out, no. We need to see the color. We need to see it. They want us to see the color. And I bring that up because I remember having the news on, and my boys were taking a bath, and they go right after George Floyd, and they said, wait, Mommy, a policeman killed somebody? And I just went, took a pause, and I just went, mm-hmm. And then they go, wait, the policeman was white and he killed a black man? Another pause, waiting for guidance. Mm-hmm. So the innocence just went right in that moment. Tried to navigate us back. They're still 6 years old. And I bring this up because I had a powerful awareness about the white privilege right then and there within that day. And I thought, you know what? There are my black and brown mommies have to deal with that conversation from birth. And had I not had the news on, and had I not been interested in what's going on and just stayed in my white bubble of privilege, I might never have had to have that conversation with my boys. My parents never had that conversation with me. And so the compassion, the empathy, the drive to be a part of this punctuation mark for this movement of racial justice was just lit on fire even more. And it's a fine line and a delicate dance, Mike, of observing, these guys still believe in Santa Claus. The Tooth Fairy just came the other night. You know what I'm saying? But then they're also seeing a policeman. Then they said the other day, Mommy, another black person got killed by a policeman? And I'm navigating this with them. And I look him in the eye and I said, yep. Something's not right, guys. Something is not right. We have got to make a change. And I don't know exactly how to do that, but I hope that this organization, we can do this now. That's why I like the Planting the Seeds program, because it's planting the seeds early on. I read the history books, slavery, moving on. That's all we're going to talk about with slavery. We touched on it, moving on. Let's talk about Thomas Jefferson, Lincoln, how great those white guys are. I want to infuse early on. Whoa, wait a second. This is what really went down. And let's come up with a way to address this that is child appropriate. But I think we're also being called, the humanity's being called to evolve and grow up a little bit faster.
Yeah, unfortunately. And what
Yeah.
a tough conversation
Or
to have with
maybe
your
fortune.
children, but so, I guess so important too. And I couldn't think of a better song to take us out of this segment to commercial break. We're listening to Quincy Coleman, The Great Prayer, A Vision of Hope. We'll be right back.
Okay, here we go.
Very
Mike,
nice.
you take-
Quincy.
Yeah,
Huh?
that was
Very nice.
Oh, good. Can I turn
Yeah.
my AC off real quick, guys?
Your what?
TV. I thought I heard a TV.
No, my AC.
Oh, I
Oh,
see.
AC.
Okay.
Okay.
You can turn the TV off too.
I thought I heard.
I don't have the TV on, but I've got birds chirping
It's-
over a lake.
No.
I hear the birds. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Go ahead and turn the TV on. Then you can turn it off. Okay.
Hey, Mike, why don't you bring us back here and take the whole
Yeah,
segment?
what song did you just play? Oh, Great Prayer.
Yeah, and then we're coming back with Blown
Blown Away.
Away. I didn't give you a second, so I'm blown away. Did you figure it out?
No, I didn't use it.
Oh,
Because there were no seconds on it.
so no
So
song
we're
coming in?
No, we have I'm Crying, which
That's-
is the one that Gormley sent me.
Shoot.
It's a new one.
Okay.
Well,
I shouldn't announce
remember,
these
we
songs
don't.
because I might be announcing them wrong.
Well, no, you're doing fine so far, other than that one, and
Actually-
it's only because there was no time marker.
How many
also-
how many more breaks are we looking at?
No more. This is this is
more.
the final segment. No breaks.
Oh,
So
I was
you've got basically 15 minutes. Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Hey,
You
can
ready?
real quick, the first break you said we were listening to Give It Away, and then when we came back, you said that was the Pie song. Just FYI.
Yeah, we went out with Give It Away,
Yeah, and came
Oh,
back,
cool.
back
in.
with the Pie song.
Awesome.
So when you listen to this, Quincy, we'll have commercial breaks. We're just,
Lovely.
since we're recording, not doing it live, we're just coming right back. But yeah, I hope I didn't get off because I've got the Great
Yeah.
Prayer as a coming in song. So, we just went out. So
The Great Prayer is what we came in with. That is correct.
Mm,
I will
See,
put in whatever you want.
Okay.
I'll put in whatever you want there. Just give me some times. You know.
You
change
didn't
it
have
up.
times for Blowing Away?
No,
no, just for Blown Away. I forgot to put
That
the
was the only
seconds in.
but we're
Oh,
coming back with I'm Crying. I'm Crying.
Okay.
That's the one you sent me, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then I've got the song,
We'll
a
just have to
full-length
move the
song
great-
version that you wanted. What's that?
Because we
Okay.
just went out and I said, this is the best song to go out with, the Great Prayer. And we went out and then on here it says in the Great Prayer. Anyway, we'll just have to move that and just skip the song that I didn't give you, I
I'll
guess.
I'll cue it and we'll put it in there.
Yeah, sorry.
I'll
Sorry,
check
Richard.
it. I'll check it. We'll cue it and we'll put it in there. Okay, Mike, you ready? Here we
Yes.
go. 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Hi, this is Mike Gormley on the Jeremiah Higgins Show. Jeremiah is actually with us today. What do you know? That doesn't happen very often.
No, I decided to come off the beach. Mike,
Good. Cool. And also Quincy Coleman is with us. If you've been listening, it's a moving speech she's giving, which I don't think she meant to give, but it's coming across beautifully. I'm wondering, we can do this now as a couple of videos. It's also an EP. There's 5 versions of the song on the EP, and it's just available online everywhere. but are you feeling support? Are you getting feedback on the videos and the songs and so on and so forth from, let's say, the general public?
Yeah, and also I'm just realizing I didn't answer another question you asked me earlier about Chris Pierce.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are really receiving it well. You know, we've got 3 videos, a lyric video, an environmental justice video, a racial justice video. What's nice is they're all the same song, but 3 different versions. I mean, and I think we've just found out that the racial justice video might be getting flagged, which is kind of a bummer. But
that means that who, Facebook or YouTube or wherever are trying to, they've decided it's antisocial or something, or what do you mean flagged?
I don't know, but I don't know why, but the views, they cut the views out. There's like not as many views as there was a couple days ago. They might have an issue with it, which again, like we said in the beginning, I'm not surprised. So we'll just find other ways to get it out there.
So anyway, the EP's on there and you're feeling support. You know, you talked about the seed program, the planting seeds. And of course, there aren't any schools going on, at least not in North America very much. So this is on hold until that happens, or you think you can find a virtual way to get that going?
Absolutely, we can do a virtual version. You know, we can still show the video presentation, and we can incorporate like a little, just planting something at home. And as Jeremiah had mentioned earlier, we can have them draw their favorite Black leader. And there might be something that comes out of that too. I'd love to feature the children's drawings on the website as well. Like have a conveyor belt of the Earth drawings and possibly the Black leaders drawings. And I even thought it'd be kind of cool to pick one, you know, every month to incorporate in the merch. And throw like of the Earth on a hat, you know what I mean, or something like that.
A drawing, you mean, of like would be a t-shirt or something? That's very cool.
Yeah.
How have you balanced?
Oh,
God.
God.
You're a single mom, right? You got 2 now 7-year-old twin boys who they're boys. They're boys, or boom, 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 boys. How
do boys do it, Mike?
Oh, the boys are great. Boys are great. They
go vroom, vroom, vroom.
Yeah, you watch them. Yeah, you can hear them go by.
Beep, beep.
Anyway, how do you balance what you're doing with We Can Do This Now and the boys and just life in general? It sounds overwhelming to me.
It is overwhelming sometimes. And then, you know, and also having the honor of taking care of my parents too, you know, in this stage in their lives. But 1 minute at a time, that's how I do it. And yes, I'm a single mom, but also an extremely present, their papa is extremely present, and we co-parent. So it's a very strong team. Also have a great village, you know, my sister, my brother, and you know, we'll just get them in the pool as much as I can. And the virtual schooling's going 1 minute at a time, man. It's 1 minute. And sometimes I'm pulling my hair out, and sometimes it's not so graceful, and sometimes it's magic. And
Dr. D's available for babysitting if you need it.
Sure. Yeah. You bet. Mm-hmm.
But you know,
we're not recommending it, by the way.
No.
Because I use barbed wire on my playpens.
Best not use him.
No, don't use me. Okay.
Lovely. But no, Mike, I would say that, you know, it's exhausting. But the org is oxygen. That's keeping my spirit you know, really, really pumped and purposeful and inspired. And it feeds the motherhood, and the motherhood feeds that. And, you know, I feel very, very, very lucky. And sometimes it's gnarly.
You mentioned earlier a guest on one version of We Can Do This Now, and that's Chris Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah, great voice. Can you give a little
Yeah.
background on Chris?
Chris Pierce and I have been singing and harmonizing together for a couple of decades. He is just a peaceful warrior and a giant of love, always has been, and an extraordinary gift of song, and an amazing spirit. So when I started to put together this version for Racial Justice, the video, I had always heard an international choir and a children's choir on the song. So this was the opportunity. And I was going to have Chris Pierce and maybe my friend Clay Pruitt, who sang on The Great Prayer, and Ron Campbell. I was going to try to pull all of us together to do a little kind of gospel choir feel. But it turned out that Chris Pierce came to mind right away, no brainer. He's going to drive us home. It's going to be his song at the end for this visual for sure. And turns out that he channels his ancestors and created a little gospel choir using his voice and channeling his ancestors. And he calls them the Saints of St. Pete. So it really gave a fullness and a great sonic feeling to the Racial Justice video. It was just a massive honor to have him contribute in that way.
And besides Chris, you have some great musicians on this.
Yeah.
You weren't fooling around.
Yeah, well, you know, Rachel Pollack, an old family friend of mine, Sydney Pollack's daughter, she brought in her ex-husband, the father of her children, to produce the song. He was magic immediately, got the vision right away. I mean, in a way, the song could have been done a week after he had it. And it was extraordinary what he did with it, from me playing it for him in my apartment, and then he just went away and boom. But then when we were talking to Steve Postel, amazing singer, songwriter, guitarist, who I was just getting ready to do a GoFundMe to make a record with him. He's in a band with drummer Russ Kunkel, so Steve engineered the bass and drums and got Kunkel to do the drums and Bob Glob to throw down bass, both masters. Then you introduced me to Ira Ingber, who came on in as executive producer to do a version with Opium Moon's M.B. Gordy. Opium Moon with Lily Hayden, the beautiful violinist, singer-songwriter, and Amid, who played the santur. M.B. Gordy did some beautiful percussion, and Lucas Freeling engineered that. Every single person who contributed to this was stellar. And the fact that everybody just so effortless. It's like all you had to do was say Greta Thunberg environment. It was like, yes, sign me up. Donated their time. That's what I mean. It was just really, really a beautiful wave that we've been able to ride.
Cool. What's
and then the West Los Angeles Children's Choir.
Yes, exactly.
I love that.
Yeah,
which is beautiful. Beautiful. Well, what do you think's in the future? This is something you're going to work on for a while. I mean, you're already making plans regarding Earth Day, which is what, March or April, and you know, this is going to be part of your life for a while. You're going to go back to Steve Postel and make your own record. Have you had a chance to even think about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's the Spiritual Cowboy definitely wants to be made. There's a lot of songs that I really look forward to recording. The world is just in this place where I feel very grounded in this organization and putting all my effort and energy into it. And it's just so nice. It's so nice to be a part of something. This, I feel like I can make a bunch of calls about. I can rally people. I've always been good at that and putting on all the hats, but this you know, when I said music died for me as a business, when, you know, a couple years into the diagnosis, and that I really wanted to be of service using my voice, this is it. And it's like, this I can at 48 years of age with two beautiful 7-year-olds, this I can really bust my ass for, because it's not about Quincy Coleman. You know, before it's like Quincy Coleman, the songwriter, an interview with Quincy. This is about We Can Do This Now. This is about justice, you know? And yes, I'm a singer, and I stand in that, and I am so grateful for it. It's medicine for me to sing. But it's nice to be able to put all this energy into something so purposeful and with such strong intention for hopefully global healing and some healing for humanity.
So there's wecandothisnow.org is the website.
Yeah.
And the money for this, we haven't mentioned, is going to Black Lives Matter and Fridays for Future, which is a Greta Thunberg organization.
Yeah.
It's amazing, you pulled this together and nobody got paid. You know, you pulled this together, and you can't even call them favors. They weren't doing you any favor. It was like you said, because of what it was, they wanted in.
That's right. That's right. And it just was very humbling. It was very humbling to see how powerful this dance with the universe and this energy, and just everybody signing up and being a part of it, including, like, you know, a bunch of my singer-songwriter friends that I absolutely want to mention. You know, Chris Pierce sang on it. A couple of Swedes, friends of Jonas Sorman, who is Swedish as well. Eric Tornblom, Jeff Perlman, Gigi Planchard, I gotta name him, Hide Ikumo, Jesper Sjöberg, Johanna Pauly, Kamini Natarajan, Kimberly Haynes, Michael McGlone, Rachel Pollack sang, Santino De La Torre, Shane Alexander, Solarbrun Musk, and Vessi Mink, all amazing. Some I've known forever. And what am I talking about? No idea. I love these
We
people.
Can Do This Now is what you're talking about. And we're going to play the entire single, the song right now, featuring Chris Pierce. And I wanted to actually say something here. I wanted to read this quote by Ken Cragen, co-coordinator of We Are the World and Hands Across America. What a great endorsement. He says of We Can Do This Now, your new single. I love this song. It's killer. It's so great.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Guys, we have to say goodbye. Quincy, so good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your experiences and your music with us. And again, everybody out there listening, we can do this now.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Clear.
So we'll play the full song here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me look at something.
thank you.
Quick.
Quincy, thanks again.
Jeremiah, thank you so much. Such a pleasure, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I got